Good morning, boys. Sorry it took so long for me to get this video out. I was busy saving lives. So, let's begin. So, first of all, I'd like to address my team. Tough loss this week against Hunter. It happens. Hunter had a good week, and, my team wasn't able to put up enough points, and we're moving on. We're on to next week. We're not thinking about last week anymore. So, first question on the board, we've got Kevin asking, what's your biggest area of concern on your team at this moment? So, I think it's pretty clear at this point what my biggest concern is. It's my running back position. I've just got McCaffrey, who's a complete god, but Montgomery hasn't been doing me well. And, I picked up Jeff Wilson Jr., and I'm hoping that he can be that player that I've just been needing the whole season. So that's how I'm going to fix that problem. So on to the next question. Hunter asks, how do you respond after losing to Hunter? And we're moving on. My team's going to regroup. I have a good feeling going into this week because I don't know if you guys remember, but 2 weeks ago, I beat Tim, both of our teams at full strength. And I think that was that week we saw a flash of what my team can be. And I think that next week at full strength, or I guess this week at this point, I have a lot of confidence going forward into this game. So I'm excited to see what happens. So next question, it's Hunter asking what I think the playoff predictions will be. So I'd have to go in the AFC pretty clearly. We're going to have Garrett, number one. I think Peyton's team is a little injured right now, especially with Josh Allen out. The future is kind of uncertain right there for him, so we'll have to see what happens with him, but I still think he's going to make the playoffs. And then that third spot, I'm going to have to give it to Hunter. His team's been playing good this year, and I can only see it going up from here, so we'll see what happens in the AFC. Moving on to the NFC, obviously, number one, we got Tim. Number two, clearly, we got Kev. But that number three spot, who's going to take it? I think we're going to see me in that spot. Prophecy. Moving on to the next question. We're going to have a lot of questions about the playoffs coming up, so it seems like a lot of you guys are interested about my thoughts on my team's playoff chances. And I think I've got some pretty good chances still. If you look at the standings right now, my team is 1-4 in division right now. But if I can stack up these wins at the end of the season, I could end up 4-4 in the division. And at that point, still could get a tiebreaker. And you also have to look at the fact that me, Luke, and Joey are all within one game of each other. So there's 5 weeks left. There's still a lot of football to be played. So I'm looking at my roster, and I still have a lot of confidence in my team, and we'll see what happens. Moving next, we've got Joey asking, do you believe you're going to make the playoffs, and if so, over who? And if yes, who would be your most favorable matchup first round? Yeah, I think I'm going to make the playoffs still, kind of as I've said before. I made the changes in my lineup that I kind of mentioned before as well. I've got Jeff Wilson going now. We're believing in Jeff Wilson. And I've got some guys on the bench that I think that could take a step up. Gabe Davis isn't starting anymore. He's not in now. He hasn't been playing good the past couple of weeks. So right now, he's not playing. We got Sutton on the bench too. Mike Williams should be back maybe even next week. So, plenty of players that can step up right now. And got to find out soon, and I think we're going to. So, second part of that question is who's my most favorable matchup in the first round? I mean, I wouldn't say that there's a favorable matchup between Kevin and Tim, but I see Tim winning the NFC. So if I'm making the playoffs, I'm preparing to play Kevin. Moving on to the next question from Lil Kev. Is a rebuild in the question? No. And if not, what moves do you plan to make an attempt to get that third spot? I've already mentioned that. We've got Wilson. We've got Sutton. And we've got Mike Williams coming back. And then lastly, we've got Luke asking a question, and it is, which team is most overrated in the AFC? Now, I know who we all think I'm going to say, but I think that it might be Peyton. Throwing a curveball here. Looking at Peyton's team right now, Josh Allen could be hurt, and if he's hurt, his running backs are already hurt. He's got Jonathan Taylor, who might get hurt again and hasn't been productive all season. Look at Peyton's lineup and tell me what you think. But as for my interview, that's about all I've got for you guys, but you got to agree with what I'm saying here. The prophecy is looking to do it again. I've came back from deeper holes than where I'm at right now. Morning.